Hello and welcome to a new episode of Faithless Emo Racing. So today we're going to talk about 5 things I love about the Gran Turismo Sport BETA. So the first thing to talk about is the first thing that struck me is there's no racing line. Instead it's replaced by Trackday Markers that are very similar to a real track day and how you get better lines on a real track day. So seen here circled, it's a little marker showing you where you should be apexing. And as you can see as we come up the hill, next marker. So we're aiming for the markers just like a real track day. As we come out the corners, again we've found a marker where we need to be when we exit the corner. So now if we switch over to some real footage, this is a footage that's on my channel of a track day that I did in Landau with the Clio. Now as you can see, we're driving around for another Clio. I pause it here. There is a track day marker showing you where to turn in. We turn in, and here is another one to show us where we should be apexing. So just like a real track day. Now I think this is great because it means that people don't rely on the racing line that's superimposed, and it gets you used to real driving. Point number 2 is going to be the sound improvements. Now I'm going to let the video and the sound do the talking here mostly, but there has been a lot of gripes about the Gran Turismo sound, and I think it's not perfect, but they've made massive improvements in it. This is a Corvette, as you can hear, and we'll try a couple of the cars in a second. This is an Alfa Romeo 4C GT3, as you can hear, sounds completely different. Next up we have a McLaren 650S GT3 again completely different. Point number 3 is a new dynamic HUD. So if you have a look in the bottom right hand corner, there's a little control panel that you can change on the fly during the race. So as you can see, you can change traction control, turn it off, turn it on. You can even have it different for each corner. If there's a corner that you're struggling with, add a bit more traction control in. We have brake balance, so you can move that forwards, rearwards. That can be helpful if you've got heavy braking or you've got a bit of understeer or oversteer in the car. So it can make adjustments just like in real top flight racing series. Next, if you go across, you will have a torque distribution. So this will be predominantly for 4-wheel drive, so you can make it rear wheel biased or front wheel biased, which is again so I've never seen in a racing game before. We go across again. Finally, you'll even have a fuel map, so maybe this will be for some endurance racing. We can make it lean or more powerful to give you more laps out of your tank. Now point number 4 is the car groupings. As you can see here, there's 3 groups, N300, GR4 and GR3. So if we have a look at the cars that are within it, N300 is predominantly road cars, fast road cars, but road cars nonetheless. So if we have a look into the second group, we'll just back out, GR4, it's basically what I see as road cars that are prepared for track. So they're tuned for track, they've got wings, roll cages, but they're not a full out race car. Now if we go along to the final group, GR3, we can see these are all out race cars, built from the ground up to be a race car and only a race car, which I think is a nice mix. So the 5th and final point is how different all the cars drive. So here we've got a 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi Evo. This is all going to be based on the same track. Going up to Druids on Brands Hatch, braking, and we can actually feel the AYC working. put power on, and we can actually feel it tucking the nose in. So now if we go and compare that with a rear wheel drive car, we'll see that the line is completely different. So next up we have a rear wheel drive car. We can pause it at the same point so you can know where we are. Now the first thing you'll notice is braking. Your steering isn't corrupted by no four-wheel drive system. It feels communicative, it feels light. The rear end, very lively then. As you can see, it's sliding out, but steering is so much better with a rear wheel drive car. Now if we then go and change it up even more and go to a front wheel drive car, we'll see that straight away I'm running wide because you get a lot more power on understeer. The brakes are very good, but as soon as we get turned in, that initial turn in is great, but get a bit of power on and straight away we start to feel this front of the car start sliding wide. As you can see again, going wide. The front wheel drive car needs a lot more care and attention than any of the other ones. Now let's look at all three of those cars side by side. So here's a side-by-side video, pause it at the same point, and as you can see, sit back and enjoy. You can see the different line for the same corner. I think it tells a lot about how the game works with the different types of drivetrain. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Give me a comment if there's anything that you want to see from the Gran Turismo Beta. See you again soon.